So yeah, iPhone 13 rumors already, because you know how this industry works. As yes, we have some details on new features we are getting on the iPhone 13 and when we're getting it. There's some hands-on videos of the Galaxy S21 as well, and we have some official details on the release. And speaking of hands-on, there's a new in real-life image of the OnePlus 9 prototype, and it looks pretty familiar. I'm Jaime Rivera. Yes, this is my birthday week, so you are all invited to celebrate with me by having a drink in my name or finding my Amazon wish list as well. I need to populate that. But anyways, just so you know, I'll be off on Thursday and Friday. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals, and since the hottest news has to do pretty much with Apple, how about if we actually begin with Apple deals? Though these have actually to do with the models of MacBooks that are on their way out, in case you still don't want to join the dark side of M1s. If you're looking for a 16-inch MacBook Pro, you can get the Intel Core i7, 16 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigs of SSD storage model for $300 off, leaving it at $2,100. If you're looking for the 13-inch variant, you can get the i5, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage one for $1,750 after a $249 discount. Let's move on to iPads, as the 2018 11-inch iPad Pro is $35 off at checkout, meaning you can get the Wi-Fi only 128GB storage model for $769 in both colors. But then why not just get the iPad Air, like seriously? But now something crazy is that Samsung's Black Friday trade-in deals are still going, and we're midway through December. So yes, you can still get the Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G for a crazy $1,000, the Note 20 series for $450, the S20 series starting at $390, but again, you need to have an eligible device for trade-in. We have more deals on other iPads, the Galaxy S10 Plus, and others in the description. Now let's move on to Microsoft and Windows on ARM computers, as obviously everything that the M1 has done right now has obviously put Redmond on alert over what they should have been doing better since day one. One of the biggest problems with Windows on ARM PCs is that machines like the Surface Pro X can only run native 32-bit or 64-bit apps compiled natively for ARM, or 32-bit x86 apps through emulation, which left a lot of modern Windows ecosystem apps in the cold. Well, Microsoft just released a preview of their 64-bit app emulation, which they're calling x64 as a preview for Windows insiders in their developer channel. So if you have this build and the machine running Windows on ARM, you can download x64 apps from the Windows Store after updating it. This means that now you can emulate 64-bit apps and you can play games and run productivity software, which was lacking all these years on ARM PCs. So of course, x64 emulation is still a work in progress, and there's really no word on when consumers will get a wide release, but it looks like they're finally prioritizing. Here's the thing, Microsoft. The M1 is making x86 computers look so bad that I don't think emulation is what you should be doing right now. You should be doing something bigger. And since we already started talking about ARM computers, let's focus on the entry-level iPad, as obviously it is the most popular one, and we've been hearing about a refresh for a bit, if you could call it that. According to a tipster on Twitter, we'll be getting this 10.5-inch Retina display iPad that still brings a home button and Touch ID in 2021. Like the previous report mentioned, we will most likely be getting the iPad Air's older design, meaning it'll get thinner and lighter than the current entry-level iPad. The tipster also mentions that this iPad will be powered by Apple's A13 Bionic SoC, which powered last year's iPhone, and it'll get an extra bit of RAM with 4 gigs. Other reports also claim that we'll finally get some more onboard storage starting at 64 gigs. And finally, we're expecting the price tag to go down to $299, which is a pretty sweet deal. And it makes all the sense in the world now that Cupertino has more control over their production thanks to Apple Silicon. I guess the biggest question left is, when are we going to get it? And everything points to it happening in March, as it usually, well, no, but you know, when it happens. Now, how about if we talk about OnePlus's 2021 is clearly going to be the year of early launches. We're expecting the OnePlus 9 5G to launch earlier, sometime around March, so leaks are starting to intensify. Now we have some IRL pre-production images which are posted by Phone Arena from an anonymous tipster. These units show the silver variant of the phone, showing off the new camera module, which we've only seen CAD renders. Now, this is the regular OnePlus 9, so it brings 2 large sensors, which reportedly consist of 48 megapixel cameras and a small third camera, which is most likely going to be useless for a macro or something. At the front, we're expecting a 6.55-inch display that looks like the one on the OnePlus 8T, which is actually a good thing, which will support Full HD Plus resolution, 120Hz, and HDR. Other details include the fact that the sides of this phone will be made of aluminum and a different logo, which confirms that this is a pre-production unit. This phone will most likely be powered by the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 5G SoC, as well as 8 gigs of RAM and at least 128 gigs of storage. Now, if you're thinking that this looks like a complete Frankenstein between a Samsung Galaxy and an iPhone 12, you're not mistaken. Yeah. And since we're talking about early announcements, the king of them will be apparently Samsung with the Galaxy S21. And we continue to get more intensive leaks that we debated, should we make this the hottest news? But you'll understand why. According to the guys over at WinFuture, several German retailers are already revealing the storage capacity and color variants for the Galaxy S21 series. Apparently, the two storage options will be 128 and 256 gigs for the maxed out variant, with color options being gray, white, pink, and purple. Obviously, they'll have more elegant names when they launch. This leak also mentions an S Pen, but it won't have a slot on the phone like the Notes do. And instead, you'll have to place it on a clear view silicone case, but the phone will support the stylus. Samsung's Opera store in India also confirmed that the sales of the S21 will begin on the 29th of January, pretty much like Prosser leaked earlier this season. Now, moving on to some more interesting news, the phone was just showed on an in-real-life hands-on video, which was posted to YouTube, but then was made private. Sadly, we weren't able to recover it in time. Hopefully, Diego, while editing, is able to find it, but in the video, we get to see all of the design details that we've seen in the renders. The regular S21 appears to bring a frosted back, which almost looks matte, and the camera is slightly raised, meaning that the bump doesn't protrude as much this year. We also get to see the front of the phone with the smaller bezels and the punch hole display, pretty much looking like last year's variants. So yeah, let's see what other leaks we get up until the company will leak it itself, because it always ends up doing that. Yeah. But finally, the hottest news today have to do with Apple and what to expect from the company in 2021, as it seems that the company found a lot of success with their staggered launch this year, but 2021 will be a little more normal, I guess. We hope. Not just for launches, I hope for everything. According to a new Ming-Chi Kuo report, mass production of the iPhone 13 and the A15 chip will go back to Cupertino's usual time frame. So this mass production starting in the summer again, and will most likely launch at an Apple event in September again like they usually do. However, I wonder what Apple plans when it comes to releasing the phones, as they had some pretty good sales this year with the spaced out releases, so they might also follow on that strategy. Now, moving on from the release and onto the actual phones, it looks like we are getting one of the features that we've been expecting on iPhones for years. According to a new report from the Elect, Samsung and LG will remain Apple suppliers for OLED panels, and two of these iPhones will bring LTPO technology. Now, LTPO is the technology that allows 120Hz displays to exist without consuming too much of your battery, which makes sense because iPhones don't bring amazing power packs. The technology is already present in the current Apple Watch, meaning we could possibly also get an always-on display on the iPhone 13. And if you think about it, notice the new cases and what they can do. But then we're also expecting features like Touch ID on the next iPhones, along with a notch that's actually smaller. Finally, we'll see what we get in September. So let us know in the comments down below what you would like to get on the iPhone 13. Aside from Android. I know a lot of you are going to say that, but no, that's never going to happen. Wouldn't it be cool if iPhones ran Boot Camp and were able to run Android, you know, as Windows can run on a Mac? But anyways, for me, you know, I really care about 120 Hz and everything. I feel that companies should do more with photography. Particularly Apple. They've done a lot of great stuff, but I feel that they can go further. That's just me. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also follow us on social media as our extended coverage happens on Instagram. And follow me on my personal handles as I find more excuses to grab a drink. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.